purity culture kind of ruins things for you, doesn't it? Purity culture sucks. Nobody's surprised by that. If you didn't see my last video in the series, I'm making some fried chicken bites. So far, they're coming out pretty good. Purity culture, for those of you who don't know, perhaps you're blessed enough not to know, is a mostly, well, it's a religious phenomenon, but I found that it's very big in the Christian community because the Bible says do not have sex before marriage. There's a lot of speculation as to why. You don't want to compare who you've been with whenever you're with your true one. You don't want to think about other experiences. You don't want to have a baby before you're married because marriage provides a money security thing. So, when it comes to purity culture, it ruins a lot of things, which this is not a new statement. Everybody and their brother has made this statement, I feel. But I want to talk about how it nearly destroyed me. Perhaps give a new perspective in the life of purity. Since I was young, I've grew up with a Christian dad, right? And wanting his approval before I knew God, I went, I'm going to learn the Bible so that way I can talk to him. And that's how I came to Christ, is that I read the Bible, learned about God, followed his principles, and went, dang, not one of these has led me wrong. Not one of these has led me astray. God is truly loves me and sees me. He's the only being in the entire universe who cares about me as much as I desire to be cared about and loved, because it feels like nobody else has, even though people did. But there's a difference between feeling, So I want to live for him and show him. Basically how I started my faith walk, right? And so one of these things is like, don't have sex before marriage. Don't do all these things. I was like, okay. So even if I think about sex, right? Or my wedding night, so I don't get flagged by TikTok or YouTube or wherever you're seeing this, right? I was like, that must mean I am a pervert. First off, wrong thinking. You're not a pervert for thinking about your wedding night. I didn't know that, because who's going to ask people about that, right? You're going to be like, I don't want anyone to know I'm thinking about this, because you suddenly get lost in this legality of perfection. Are you going to do your thing? Oh, I am, but do you want to show your after? This is a different video, but
Again. You ready? Oh, sorry, dog. I almost stepped on her. I did step on her just a little bit. Okay. This is a transition. Ready? Somebody do it. Kitcher's not going to. She hates me. She doesn't hate me. Boom. Edna Mud. Who is it?
Oh my gosh, you've gotten fat. If you haven't seen the movie, I didn't call her fat.
Yeah, I heard it. She said it. The words came out of her mouth. Is that too far?
That's fine. I don't give up, my dear. I don't need perfection.
No, I know. It's just when you talk, you lean forward because you have vested interest in what you're saying because you believe it's true. So if you're leaning back when you're almost out of time, when you're leaning forward, you're going to be completely out.
Okay. I need to work on.
How's it for you a second?
Oh, thank you.
so you know, for future reference, you really shouldn't use this pan for frying like this.
Oh, because of the metal.
No, the metal is good. It's the edges. I know you have it.
Oh, gotta take that out though. That's way overdone.
Yeah, they're overdone. But also, you can't, because it's so tall, it's dark, you can't tell what two colors the meat is. You don't have an external light on it.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to want the more shallow dish, which is why I use low heat for HUI.
Oh, okay.
So that way the light can be better. What are getting your face on? I'm going to put it in?
Yeah.
Just on top of these?
Yeah, that's fine.
More than that?
That's fine. Okay.
You're going to re-season it?
Yeah.
Were you using the chicken bouillon to season?
No. I was gonna think about it, but I forgot. So, take that.
I was going to think about it, but I forgot. That's cute.
Thank you. I'm adorable.
Yes, you are.
I'll put the chicken in the egg since there's so little left and only 2 pieces of chicken.
Oh, let me have fun.
Is that okay? Good idea?
What?
You're the cook.
What did you say?
What if I might?
I thought you were telling the camera something.
No, I was gonna put this in there.
What for?
There's a little egg, but I still need it for 2 more pieces.
Oh, yeah, sure, go ahead. A little bit more. That's good.
Thanks.
I'm turning this off. You're gonna want to turn it back on in a little bit, but if you keep it on the temp that you had, this is gonna burn.
Well, I was gonna put stuff in it now, but I can because it's still hot.
Yeah.
Okay.
In like 5 minutes, turn it back on, because then it'll be cool enough that it's not gonna burn when you have lunch and you'll be.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do? I was stuck in my own legality instead of having a relationship with God. And I didn't know that. I was young. Still am young. But whenever it said think about things that are pure, righteous, holy, I went sex is impure. And therefore, I didn't allow myself to think about sex. In fact, if I thought about sex, I thought I was a definite demon. I went to the fullest extent of extremes. I'm a horrible person who is just betraying God and anything I do. And so whenever other issues arrived, whenever you are tempted, and I acted upon them, even though I've been free of it for 10 years, I was even more. I'm the worst of all creation. That God, I wish you would cut off my legs and body below, because then at least I wouldn't sin before you, and it's better not to. Girl, it's legality. You're not living for God anymore. You're just trying to prove that you're a saint, when you never can be. Nobody is good but Jesus. All fall short of the glory of God. There's nothing you can do. God loves you. He sent his son to die for you. Right? No matter what, you cannot be perfect, but it's your job to strive for this, to strive to be like God, to choose every day to love others more than you love yourself. That's the point. Whenever you're frying things, make sure you take it out a little before, because it's going to cook longer, even though it's out, because the oil is still within, right? I did not put these fast enough, so they burn. But I can't take these out because the bottom didn't have a chance to sit in the fire for like a second. Can you even see it? Well, here's an example of ones I took out and ones I didn't on time. See that? Not good. Nice, but not good. So I was stuck in my own legality for years. And it got to the point that I couldn't think about it, and if I got turned on anyway, I was horrible, and if I talked about it, oh, forbid. Then people knew I was impure. Pride. But also, I felt like I was sinning before God every instant. And so, I even knew, as I was thinking about that so much, whenever I get married, how am I going to do this? There must be, like, God just turns it off this shame and this guilt. No. I'm not married yet, but God has taught me tricks and work through this, right? And so here's a controversial thing I have to say about it. Well, let me get a little more into my story then. You'll hear my little controversy. You didn't take it out fast enough. Look at this. Both sides are burnt now. Shame. It got to the point that it was a stronghold for the enemy, to say the least. And for 3 months, I could not stop thinking about it. To the point that I was crying and sobbing every day because it was such a strong spiritual attack. Not because I was like, oh, I'm thinking about sex, because I was thinking about it in the wrong way, in the wrong context, and every part, it felt like an attack on my brain. I could not stop thinking. And for 3 months, day and night, I'm not even kidding, I woke up and fell asleep sobbing. I was stuck. And so you're like, Kitra, how did you get out of it? Maybe you're in that position now. God forbid. Not. Worst period of my life. And if you are, stay strong, soldier. This message is going to help you. Because here's what I did. In that moment, I had to learn from God because he's willing to talk to me, because he was there for me. He didn't leave me. I just didn't like his message, so I wasn't willing to listen. Pride, arrogance, same thing. It's attached to it. If you're not willing to listen to God, he knows better. You're thinking you know better than him. That's pride and that's arrogance. Just to let it go. Let God. Here's something that purity culture doesn't teach you, and that I had to learn from people who were willing to teach me. From my dad, who's willing to talk to me about it, which was not fun, by the way. It sucked. But it wasn't bad, it just was embarrassing. He's very kind, he's very, very kind. If you were struggling with lustful thoughts, let me tell you a fun fact about how you were created. From about 14 to 21, sometimes 13 or 12, depends on if you're an early or late bloomer. Nothing wrong either way. I think that's done. You are going to have a higher sex drive because your body is growing into itself, becoming an adult, and saying, we're ready to have kids. Women and men. Right? And so you're going to start thinking about sex a lot. Also, time, as modern days, that you're in school a lot and around your peers. And let's just say, you probably got some nice looking peers because you're meant to be attracted to people. Because one of the first things we were told to do by God is to go and multiply. So, sex is not evil. It's not impure. It's built into who you are. But legality doesn't see that. Because it says that, the Bible says this, so I have to take it to the fullest extent. Read how God made you. And whenever you hit about 21, 22, 23-ish to 25 to 27, for men, that's whenever you guys are like, oh, yeah. Because usually by then, you're married and you have kids. And if you had kids earlier, then it's just an appreciation to your wife that, yeah, you're a hot mama jamma. And for women, your sex drive is still pretty high then too. Men start to decline in 30-ish. Not to say that they don't want to have a honeymoon night. I forgot I was going to say that, my bad. Right? It just means that they're less likely to initiate. Which means that it is now time for the woman who will now say, ooh, now's the time for me and my husband, me and my, yeah. Right? To enjoy our honeymoon night as many times as possible. Because it's supposed to show your husband in this way. We're in our 30s now. We may or may not have kids, depending on what's going on in your life. I still think you're incredibly attractive. I still love you. There's a lot of things going on in my life, but I still think that you are the man's man. It reads for a healthy marriage, does it not? It's almost like God intended a honeymoon night to be in its proper time. It's the proper place. There's nothing evil or wrong about that. You just need to make sure that you're married before you commune, which is very hard. But temptation is not sin. I feel like that's a message for someone because it was for me. Being tempted and saying, ooh, I really want to do or think about or touch yourself, right? That is not evil. To think that, to want that, to be turned on by that. It's a choice if you do it. Because I don't think you should be doing that. I don't think you should be watching porn because that ruins your relationship for your partner in the future. And if you're reading porn, looking at women specifically, especially if you're married, I think it's a very bad thing because you're putting unhealthy expectations on your husband. And why is that fair to him if he cannot watch porn, but you can read it? Message for somebody, just saying, just a thought, just a different thought. It's porn. Not good. Right? And so, all this stuff being said, because you're emotionally cheating on your husband, if you're falling, like, thinking thoughts of these characters or reading these characters doing something that should only be happening, or you should only be talking about, in my opinion, with your husband. If you're having issues, then I suggest you go to a Christian sex therapist or honeymoon therapist, right? And so, I'm trying to remember where I was at. This phase of saying specifically, oh, well, the way that churches go about teaching about before marriage is that no, it's not good, it means you're evil if you, like the rose example, the worst example, because when my dad taught me about this, because my mom, not exactly a Christian, and when she talked about it, she used the flower rose example, right? And the example, for those of you who are fortunate enough not to know it, is that if it's specifically about a woman, if you have a rose, then you hand it around to everyone else. So beauty is so beautiful. But by the time it gets back to the pastor, preacher, whoever, it's all wilted and destroyed, and things are missing, and that's what it's like to lose your virginity and be all around. Horrible way of looking at someone. Man, woman, whatever. And that's something that my dad said that's specifically inappropriate. And he's the one that taught me that's not how that works. Because God makes you pure. Because if you're a person who had before marriage, because you weren't a Christian or an accident happened or it wasn't your fault, man or woman, this applies to both. First off, especially if it wasn't your fault, don't blame yourself. Don't feel guilty. It's not intentional. You are not impure in God's eyes. And if it was your choice or your fault, are you not created new every day? Are you not forgiven by God? Every day His mercy is renewed. If you are doing that now and are a Christian, stop. It's inappropriate. It's a sin. You shouldn't be doing it. God said very specifically only when you are married. But if it's something you've done and then you haven't done for a while, you need to let go of the guilt and shame, because the thing about this whole movement of the church is that it makes a gift from God, because that's what is. That's the reason it's so pleasurable. It's so nice. It's a gift. Because He told us to multiply. Are we going to want to multiply if it's not pleasurable? No. Right? It's a gift. And if you start looking at this gift like it's some sort of curse, it's wrong. You were not made to be that way. You were not made to be afraid of it. You're not made to be guilty about it or ashamed. And in this sense, because this series is about, this video I'm going to put as part of a series of becoming a woman of God, trying to believe in God before marriage, how to prepare yourself to be a wife and a mother who represents God in a household, something along those lines. I don't have a title yet, right? If you go into your marriage saying, well, I always thought sex was I always thought it was evil to be intimate, and then your husband wants to be intimate or your wife wants to be intimate, how are you going to get over that shame? And how are you not going to make them feel ashamed? And suddenly this great gift that God has given you for your marriage to do it, because whenever you enjoy each other, you're being vulnerable. You're showing your heart and your soul in the very, very part of who you are. You are literally bare in not only body, but heart and soul. From what I gather. Again, I haven't done that. But that's what I'm told. Right? And so this intimate act that God has given as a representation of your marriage and love and the ultimate gift, and you're making your partner, your husband, your wife feel ashamed for that, it's not a way you want to start a marriage. It's not a way you want to your married life. There's a difference between being afraid of intimacy and knowing that there's a time to resist. And for a time to resist, that's what you need to do, because God will honor that over and above. He will be so happy and proud of you, and there are so many gifts that I do not know, because I haven't had it, that will happen. And if you're facing that temptation with your partner, you're both Christians especially, then you need to make sure that you set boundaries, and you need to make sure that you are never alone with them Not in a sense of like you can never be alone ever, you're never supposed to talk. But I would not suggest sitting in a car with them because it's a cramped and closed space, especially at night. That backseat looks tempting. It just means that whenever you're on a date, go to a crowded place. Make sure that you're acceptable different distance from each other. Don't make out. Don't get handsy. Because you don't need to tempt yourself. And you can save those times for when you're married, and then those feel really nice. They're really good memories, and there's no guilt or shame attached to it. And so, let go of the legality in your life. Because legality is not a relationship with God. Legality is a prideful relationship with yourself, saying that you're worthy of God. And God created you. There's nothing to be worthy of. You'll never be worthy. Because God already knew you. And you're already worthy enough for Him that He sent His Son to die for you. So stop trying to earn something that's already been given.